Hello, I'm Brian Byrne. This is Kilcullen Diary. Like Sunday Miscellany on steroids, performers at the recent Woodbine Books open mic night in Kilcullen delivered an evening of excellent writing and music in extraordinary variety, spanning the full gamut of emotions and experience in 2 hours of brilliant entertainment. The now annual summer event also marked the end of the season for the Woodbine Creative Writers Group. Bookshop proprietor Dawn Behan opened on a sad note, marking the recent passing of one of the group's founding members, John Martin. A brilliant writer and always so generous with his feedback, she recalled. "We're all so much better off for having known him." Prizes were then presented for a recent competition organised by the group and funded under the Bridget 1500 programme by Kildare County Council. Judged by former group moderator Ilona Blunden, who now teaches creative writing in Maynooth, the competition saw winners including Anne Coakley and Amanda Durkin receive books shortlisted for this year's On Post Book Awards. Both read their winning entries, Anne her poem Rain with Love on the Cousin Gap, and Amanda her dark flash fiction piece Soft. The youngest person present, Raven Evans, followed with 4 poems, delivered with a presence beyond her years. Her assured wordcraft revealed colour and richness in the everyday natural world and suggested a promising writing future ahead. Charlie Gregova then delivered Swallow's Song, a brooding reflection on the gap between childhood belief and adult reality, before David Murray returned to his favourite fantasy territory with A Tale of a Broken Night, Finding Redemption Through a Second Chance. Phil Cummins then shifted the mood with a beautifully acted monologue about family life with dogs and their response to the moods and dynamics of a household. Music followed from David Scott and Pud Barrett, whose set of songs and guitar playing perfectly suited the intimate atmosphere. Accentuate the positive, Slip Away, The Fool on the Hill, and Saturday Night at the Movies. Celia Murphy's The Winding Stair brought listeners to the famous Liffeyside Bookshop Cafe, watching Dublin and the Halfpenny Bridge from its window while pondering the stories and the ghosts that live on in the river's nighttime reflections. Brian Fogarty then offered 3 poems, musing on literary pretension, the overload of modern life, and unrequited love. Orlany Shea read one of her typically delicious comic pieces, mining panic for humour in an account of a flight she made from the mainland to Inishmore. Henry Murphy followed in a similar spirit with a mock email to his supervisor, building comedy from officious language in pursuit of overdue overtime payment. The audience then discovered where Raven may have inherited some of her creative flair, as her father, Reuben, read from Talisman the Unicorn, a children's book he had written with 256 endings, the path to each determined by audience responses to a series of 2-choice questions. Geraldine Gahan's memoir traced the legacy of a multi-generational gardening family and what they taught her about food self-sufficiency. Bernadette Murray contributed a short poem, A Path of Memory, moving from the games of youth to an awareness of aging in a tapestry of life carried forward like the notes of an old song. Bernie Ahern's evocative The Emerald Ballroom recalled rural community dancing before the showband era changed everything, with its shy men, missed chances, family expectations, and lives shaped by emigration. Aninka Shimshek then read a short poem describing the images that come to her mind when she says colours aloud, including in other languages that she speaks. Sean Corrigan delivered Do Not Call Me a Poet, a sharply crafted rap, recalling college days when he was introduced as a poet, though he would rather have been known simply as a guy who played GAA. Mary Barber revisited the story of Thornton Lace, a famine relief enterprise established by Englishwoman Elizabeth Roberts in a townland outside Kilcullen. A history, she suggested, long lost in shadow and deserving to be spoken of again 180 years later. Celia Murphy returned with a memoir of finally visiting Nashville, capturing the childlike excitement of seeing the capital of country music. Kelly Tracy then read 23, charting an emotional journey from a toxic relationship and abuse towards reclaimed autonomy. As a parting gift, Charlie Gregova, who's leaving Kilcullen after a year made wonderful by the writing group and the wider community, shared a recipe and a baked sample of her favourite garlic bread. David Murray then closed the written programme with One Small Hour, disproving the unfortunate rumour that he writes only fantasy, in a short poem about unspoken love and secret admiration. The night ended with more songs from David Scott and Pud Barrett, including Blackbird, its theme of recovery and growth, a fitting close to an evening rich in talent, warmth, and shared creative spirit. I'm Brian Byrne. This is Kilcullen Diary. Thank you for listening.